Here is James Cameron.
You never really get an opportunity. You take an opportunity. If you're going to do something, you have to do it all the way, and you have to just put it before all other things.
I don't know about you, but I'm having a really great time.
Oh boy, I'm excited for this one. Welcome back to James Cameron 101. I'm your host, Eddie Green. Today, we're continuing our fan cast series here on the podcast, and we're fan casting Titanic, which might seem sacrilegious. It might seem like you can't do that. And first and foremost, for my guest and for everyone watching and listening, just fun. That's all this is. Of course, this film is perfectly cast. You literally can't get any better. And so this is literally just for fun. So keep that in mind. But of course, I had to reach out to friend of the podcast, somebody that is just probably the biggest fan of this film that I know, at least. And she has since moved on from her podcast dedicated to Titanic, but it's nice to bring it back, I think. So let's bring her in here, and then we're going to get into how we're approaching this, all the fun details and everything. So let's welcome back Brittany Butler.
Hello.
Okay, so
can you hear me? Is this working? Yes, this mic is working. Yeah.
Very good. Yes, yes. So how are you doing? Because I know, like, when I sent this idea to you, you were pretty hesitant.
Well, only because
It's
how
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, how are you going to recast Titanic?
Exactly.
So I kind of put it out of my mind for like a day, and then I started thinking about it, and then I suddenly got the idea for Rose in my head, which I fell in love with the idea of this person in the role, and I thought, oh my God, wait, I think I have something. So then I sort of cast the rest of the movie sort of based on that.
Okay.
Not so much, but it got me to the point where I was like, okay, I think I can have a little bit of fun with this instead of, so.
Awesome. And is it true how I said, even though you've moved on from your podcast, it's because I don't know, do you plan on covering anything Titanic related? Because it does fall in your Y2K phase.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think we have anything on the list, but like as of right now, but if we were to think of anything, I mean, we've talked about doing like a Titanic and pop culture episode, and like,
Cool.
talking about some of the immediate pop culture references that were already happening during that phase. And yeah, there's stuff to do.
We're gonna start from the bottom of the list. So I
Okay,
think
I was wondering, if we were gonna start from the top and work our way down, or save the top two.
Yeah. We're gonna save Rose, Jack for last, and so we'll start with Thomas Andrews, and then we'll go up. So we are doing 10 characters. It was I just went on IMDb, the first 10 that popped up. That's who I chose. So there might be some that we're missing that you're kind of upset about, and we're not casting Irish mommy, unfortunately. So yeah, so you're the guest. You get to go first here. So take it away for Thomas Andrews, and I can't wait to hear.
Thomas Andrews. This one it was kind of tough because I love Victor Garber in this role. I mean, as I love pretty much everybody in these roles. But I kind of went with who ended up being my first thought when I thought of an Irish actor, because Thomas Andrews was Irish, and Victor Garber's kind of putting on like a little bit of an Irish accent in the movie. So I was like, okay, let me like go with someone like that. So I just went with the first Irish actor I thought of that I think could also play the role pretty well. And also, I don't think this actor I mean, I think he looks close enough that it could work. But I did, for a lot of the other roles, I went really hardcore on casting based on who looks similar to the actors in the movie, not necessarily the historical figures. Because for me, I just love this movie so much, and I'm so used to this movie as it is. that if I were to recast it, it would need to be people who look close enough to the people I'm used to seeing. You know what I
Huh?
mean? So,
All right.
but anyway, for Thomas Andrews, I ended up going with Cillian Murphy.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I know who this is. Yes, I know who that one is.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. So he he is Irish?
Yeah.
Interesting. I did not know I had no clue. Um, okay. All right. Yeah, I can see it. I
Because
can see it.
he has like a very obviously he's a great actor. Um, but he had like I feel like Thomas Andrews has a very sort of soft nature to him, at least in the way that Thomas Andrews, in the way that Victor Garber portrayed him, but
Right.
also can be, you know, a very strong character. He's the one that had to tell everybody how much time they had left, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
He had this um deep connection to the ship as the shipbuilder. And so, I don't know, just the more I thought about Cillian Murphy in the role, I was like, I think he could bring out that softer side, while also obviously being able to bring a great performance to the table with it. So in those moments that really require that. So
Right. Right. I mean, you're 100% correct. Great actor. And like you said, he is Irish, so he wouldn't even really have to that part. He wouldn't even have to struggle with getting like a dialect coach or anything like that. So it would be pretty spot on. And if this was 96, because that's what I'm kind of interested in here, just to
mhm.
like kind of figure it out in real time. Uh, I wonder what he would look like in that, because this, I assume this looks like the photo you sent me, which I'll just show just in case I don't get the exact same one for a post. This looks like, I don't
I,
know,
I
like mid 2000s.
I know that's actually I think I looked up Cillian Murphy 2016. So I don't know if that
Okay.
because he would have been 39, I think, in 2016, and that's the age Thomas Andrews was when he died on Titanic. So I tried to find a picture that where he would be close enough to the
Okay.
role. I don't know if that picture is actually from 2016, but it's what came up when I searched 2016 Cillian Murphy.
So you also kind of went with, is the actor the age of, if it is a real person, because Titanic has a mix of real people and fake people.
Mhm.
If it is a historical figure, did you actually go based on the age of the person?
Not every role. That just happened to be one of the ones
Oh,
where
okay.
I did that. But
That's cool. That's cool. Cillian Murphy. Yeah. I like him. He's and obviously Oppenheimer, but
Mhm.
I think before Oppenheimer, he's kind of laid low. He's kind of this character actor that just he kind of pops in movies and you're like, oh my god, that guy.
Mhm.
And but he's not like one of the like he's not a Tom Cruise or you know what I mean.
No.
Not everybody knows when you say Cillian Murphy who you're talking about. So I think that's good. It wouldn't distract
Yeah.
from Thomas Andrews. Interesting. Okay, so
What do you got?
what do I got? For my list, since this is James Cameron 101, and since Cameron likes to use the same actors in
Mhm.
multiple films from The Abyss to Aliens, you have Michael Biehn, Terminator, you have Michael Biehn, Sigourney Weaver, Aliens, Avatar. He loves to use the same people in multiple films. So
Mhm.
I actually kind of thought it would be neat to see if I could pick from other Cameron films and
Okay.
find people that could fall into these roles. Maybe not perfectly, because again, we're so used to Thomas Andrews. We're so used to Victor Garber, but
Mhm.
so there has to be some liberties taken here when some of these photos pop up. But I think, and I tried to not cast on the age of the person, but I also tried to look at, for example, Victor Garber, his age when he made Titanic,
Mhm.
what, based off of that. So having said all of that, if I just say this name, do you know who I'm talking about? I have a photo ready to go. Ed Harris.
Not off the top of my head, no.
Don't know who Ed Harris is. Okay. I believe the photo I took here is it's from 96. I think it's from the movie The Rock from Michael Bay.
Okay.
And so this is my Thomas Andrews right here.
Oh.
He is from
Oh yeah, familiar face, yeah.
he's in The Abyss.
Okay, yep.
And just something about when I looked this photo up, when this photo came on like Google search, I was like, okay. I mean, there's a little bit of, I don't know. There's like, here he's obviously this is a very serious film that he's in, but I think he can portray that kind of lightheartedness because he's also in the Truman Show. If you've seen the Truman Show,
I've seen parts.
he's the guy that's overlooking Truman. He's basically the creator of the whole fake world that Jim Carrey lives in. So he has the ability, Ed Harris has the ability to have kind of lighter hearted moments. But just something about this photo, when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is, I think out of all the Cameron collaborators, I would feel very comfortable putting Ed Harris in the role of Thomas Andrews. So, yeah, I mean, because I know people are going to watch this.
I'd be like,
that are as diehard as you are, and are like, oh my God, what are you doing? It's just for fun. Okay, that's all this is, just for fun. Moving on.
I mean, I'm honestly pretty happy with the ones I ended up coming up with. So
good. Moving on to, who do we have here? Lovejoy.
Yes.
Lovejoy.
Go
ahead.
So I'm up. Okay. So for Lovejoy, I wanted to think obviously of someone who could be very slimy, but very like stone-faced, and could really nail that, super devoted agent to Cal, and just a little bit ruthless. So I ended up going with Jason Isaacs, who
Lucius Malfoy.
Lucius Malfoy, yes.
Nice.
He just has one of those faces. He really does. He just has a very Lovejoy kind of face where he's just a little bit, I don't know the right word to describe it, but like I said, like stone-faced, just very cold. And I think he can deliver that type of performance where, you just need, like, again, very Lucius Malfoy-ish, in the way that he could deliver a lot of those lines, you know what I mean? I could really see it once I thought of that. So
perfect. Yeah. He because I was going to ask you, outside of Lucius, are you familiar with anything else he's done? Because I'm not.
I've seen him in a couple things like here and there, none that I can actually remember the name of, but I watched something that my mom was watching or something, and I was like, hey, it's Lucius Malfoy, but I can't remember what it is. But yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Lucius Malfoy. Yeah. And he's British.
I believe so, yeah. But I mean, I feel like David Warner kind of has an accent going on in that movie.
There's something happening.
Yeah.
There's something going on there.
Yeah.
And again, like with some of mine, I'm gonna keep harping on, these are actors, so they have to act. Some of them might need to get a dialect coach, some of them might need makeup, whatever. So
and I'm texting you the images, by the way.
No, but when you said Jason Isaacs, instantly, so actually try saying their name, see if I know who it is, and then send me the photo. Just
because obviously I don't picture him looking like Lucius Malfoy with the long blonde hair.
Right. So let's see this one. This is the photo you're going with. Okay, yeah.
I think
100%.
so.
100%.
Right? Can you see it? Yeah, in the
100%.
face, very much. Yeah.
Yep, 100%. Focus. All right. For mine, I also had that same approach. I think that's the approach that you have to go with Lovejoy. So, having seen some other Cameron films, I'm curious if you think where I might be going with this choice based on villains.
Okay.
No idea?
Not right now. No.
All right. I'm going with Robert Patrick, who played the T-1000 in Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Okay.
But here he is. This is in 1996 right here. So obviously, this is a totally different film. I think is in like Miami or something. But just something about his look in 96, you can kind of get a feel for Lovejoy. But that's the thing, is certain characters, and I think Lovejoy is one, I think you can kind of mess around with their age a little bit. You know what I mean? Like Lovejoy doesn't have to be a super, like, I don't know how old David Warner was in the film, but he's I think safe to say older than what we're looking at here. But I felt comfortable casting Lovejoy a little younger. And again, going off of let's do the Cameron approach. Let's cast from film to film. I don't know, just something about Robert Patrick. Everyone associates him to the T-1000, and I mean, what better way? Because literally, if you look at his entire filmography, it's very rare that he doesn't play a villain. He's just been typecast as a villain. He even had a little stint in The Walking Dead, I think season 10 or 11. Yeah.
Oh, I was out by then, so I wouldn't know him from that, but
yeah. And safe to say, he was not a great character in that show. So, yeah, just something about it. And I want to, like, I kind of wish, like I'm not all, like, trust me, I am so not for AI, but something about this, I would love to just be like, hey, make this, like, show me what this looks like. Put Robert Patrick in Titanic. I just want to see what he looks like running around the ship and chasing who I have cast here as Jack and Rose, or who you have cast as Jack and Rose. I just want to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because I think I don't know, just something about it. Maybe because the T-1000, I think that's the biggest influence here. Arnold is not on this list. Don't worry. Arnold's not on this list.
I can't picture him in the Titanic verse, but yeah.
So there we go. That is our Lovejoy. And again, anyone watching, listening, feel free, share your list. I am very curious who people would put in these roles. So we are moving on to, a big one, Captain Smith.
Okay, so I technically have two, but they're one and the same, kind of, in a way.
Okay.
And this one I had a lot of trouble with because I don't really know why, but it was the one I think I took the longest on because Captain Smith has to have, again, a very kind of stoic feeling to him, also kind of soft in his approach to the way he played the captain, because again, I'm casting based on who I can, as a huge fan of the movie, be okay with stepping into the actors, you know what I mean, and being close enough visually to who I'm used to seeing, and who I think obviously would be able to pull off the role as well. So that's what made a lot of these tough, because I was like, who can, for me, realistically replace this person and I would be okay with it, Because
I will say, you, like, look, as much as I hate to say this, at some point, they're gonna actually
remake it. Yeah,
they're gonna remake Titanic, this version. They're gonna try to remake Jack and Rose Titanic.
Unfortunately,
which is
hopefully long after I'm gone, so I won't have to, but yes. So I really, and it's funny because this was the last person I ended up thinking of, which I really love because I've realized for a lot of the people I picked, they're people that I like from other things that I'm into or that I like, that I also just somehow think would suit these parts. So for Captain Smith, I have gone with Ewan McGregor.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am saying Ewan McGregor with a beard. If you dye that beard white,
right,
I think you'd be good to go.
Let me see here. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. And then
you have another choice? You have another
Well,
choice?
the second one, since I said the one and the same, I would also, if we could literally go for anyone ever, dead or alive, Alec Guinness, who is the original Obi-Wan in the original Star Wars films.
Okay.
Because obviously Ewan McGregor plays the younger Obi-Wan, And so there you go. I think
that's is safe to say maybe the closest casting you've done so far.
yeah, exactly. And so I think for a younger actor, Ewan for sure, since he was cast to be the younger version of Alec Guinness.
Right.
And so yeah, so once I thought of that, I was like, "Ooh, I got to go with that." And I think um Ewan, looking at him playing sort of like a middle-aged Obi-Wan in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, I think he brings exactly what I'm sort of talking about for Captain Smith, just very much a soft approach, but also obviously another great actor who can, you know, pull off that distress when the tragedy strikes and everything. So, and then obviously Alec Guinness is just a dead ringer look wise. So, but
Right. 100%. 100%. Um, I love it. I love it. I think going off of the two, if I'm gonna lean one way or the other, I think you kind of nailed it on the head there with Alec Guinness there.
mhm.
Um, it's really interesting because Ewan McGregor is, again, I know the name, and again, he is a very popular actor. Don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
I personally haven't seen a lot of what he's done, so I'm just going off of. I have seen Star Wars. I'm going off of that performance, that aura the character gives off, and I think that kind of fits. Because again, Smith is that's not a created
Yes,
character.
it's a
That is somebody
real life character. Yeah.
actually existed. So, um, you have to kind of try to, you know what I mean? You have to
Mhm.
really kind of pay attention to those details. Whereas with Lovejoy, you can kind of play around a little bit more.
Yes.
So Alec Guinness for the win on that one. Okay, mine is so I chose the year from the actor, but I also just found another image that I'm also going to pull up here. So this is Xander Berkeley, who, believe it or not, because this is the interesting thing, right? This is not a side tangent, but The Walking Dead there's actually a Cameron connection, and I think that's why you'll find a lot of these actors popping up in the show, and
Hmm.
it's Gale Ann Hurd because she's one of
Oh,
the
Galen
producers.
Hurd. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's one of
Mhm.
the producers on the show, and she worked on Terminator, Aliens, The Abyss, T2.
Yep.
So there is that connection there. So I think that's why Robert Patrick ended up on the show. Michael Biehn ended up on the show. Xander
Mm.
Berkeley ended up on the show.
Yep.
So this is what he looked like in 96. Okay.
Okay.
A little younger, but you dye his beard, right? You kind of
Mhm.
shave his hair a little bit, give him a little white. I think it works. Now in Terminator 2, he's the stepfather to John Connor, the one that Jeanette Goldstein kind of pierces through. If you remember, I know you kind of dozed off during T2,
No.
but he is in T2. He's also, if you remember, he's Gregory in The Walking Dead
Gregory.
of Hilltop.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so he's a little bit older. Yeah, yeah.
This is what he looks like now and what he looked like in the show, and what really, I guess, this is how I envision him playing Captain Smith
Ah, yes. Okay. Yep.
right there.
Mhm.
So yeah, just again, I think it's just if we can do this version of Xander Berkeley, but in 96, so we're a little time travel involved. I think right there, similar
Oh
to Alec
yeah.
Guinness, right? Come
Mhm.
on, like
Oh
that
yeah.
is Captain Smith.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah,
And I
no,
love the way I totally spaced on Gregory because I was looking at this young picture and I was like,
right?
"What?" And then I was like, "Oh, yes, yes, he would be older on The Walking Dead." Now I know who you're talking about.
No, like
But
because
yeah.
when I found out that he's from Terminator 2, he's Gregory, that just like blew my mind. And
Mhm.
then yeah, you kind of go on the Google and you're searching and everything. But yeah, so again, if I am basing it in 96, he would look like this. You put a little makeup on him and kind of spruce him up a little bit, but he has the essence. But then if we're able to do time travel,
Mhm.
we're doing this version right here, Xander Berkeley.
Yep.
So There we go. That's our Captain Smiths. And who do we have next? We have Brock. Bill Paxton. R.I.P.
Yes.
Bill Paxton.
This was another tough one. I really sat with this one for a while too. It was tough because it needs to be someone. To me, when I think of Brock, obviously I think of someone who's a little bit rough around the edges, but a little bit like beachy kind of vibe for him, piratey kind of vibe, because got the earring going on and everything, and just very much kind of a cool aura to him as well, like a young sort of vibe going on as well. And obviously someone who can play another, not two-faced, but yeah, a little bit, going into it with one goal in mind here, to just find the necklace, not really caring about anything, just doing what he can to get this information out of Rose. But then by the end, having a change of heart and being able to soften up a little bit and realize the true meaning of life and everything. But again, going as well based on looks, and someone who I think could slide into that role pretty well, I think. And again, this took a long time for me to land on. Don't mind my cat over here. But yes, I ended up going with, I believe, for my final choice here, current era Josh Hartnett. I don't know if you're familiar with Josh Hartnett.
Yep.
Yep, he was like a 90s sort of heartthrob at the time back then. He was in Pearl Harbor alongside,
which is Michael Bay's Titanic.
Yep, pretty much. But this in particular, this picture I just texted, I think he's giving off Brock vibes for sure here.
Oh yeah. Even you got the smile and everything kind of going on there. Obviously, I think most people would know him now from Trap, M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. It's almost a carbon copy. You just got to sunburn his nose a little bit.
Yeah, and add an earring, and you're good to go, I think.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I like this one. I mean, also Captain Smith, because we also did lose. What's the actor's name for Captain Smith?
Bernard Hill.
Bernard Hill. We lost him, but I mean, I'm much more familiar, and I've seen a lot more Bill Paxton films than I have Bernard Hill. Bernard Hill.
Yeah.
Okay, then I've seen Bernard Hill films. So this one was really difficult because Paxton is. I ran into this issue when I did Aliens, and I had to recast his character in Aliens. Game over, man. Like he's so he's truly one of a kind. And funny enough, on that podcast, I asked my guest, I said, can you think of the best Bill Paxton has ever looked in a film? And he gave me like Simple Plan or Twister. And I said, to me, it's Titanic. He's never looked any better than he did in Titanic. It's the little stubble here. It's the earring. He's got some nice hair going on. It's the adventure in him. And I don't know, to me, that's the best he's ever looked. But anyways, I digress.
I can co-sign that.
Good. The worst he's ever looked is in Terminator 1. I don't know if you know what he looks like in Terminator 1 with the I don't know, he's got a tire track across his face. And,
Hey, I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
Anyways, so I also thought long and hard about Brock because I love Paxton. And so I wanted somebody that is now, because he has a podcast now, he talks very fondly about Paxton. He talks because they were friends. They worked on multiple films together. So I, for my Brock, went with Michael Biehn, who is in Terminator. He's in this, I believe, is from also The Rock. He's also in The Rock. So get rid of that, whatever's on his face there. But Michael Biehn, versatile actor. He's done so much. He's also been in The Walking Dead. It's just, he's such a great actor. He can definitely do this. I don't know that, just out of respect for Bill, I would not pierce his ear. If we're remaking, I'm not piercing his ear. I want that quality to stick with Bill. But Biehn loves Bill Paxton. He talks so fondly about him. And I could totally see Michael Biehn taking on the role of the adventurer that's trying, blindly going in for all the wrong reasons and learning a big lesson at the end. He might even actually be able to sell the laugh at the end if we're going to do the deleted scene.
God, the alternate ending.
If we're going to do that, if that's going to be canon in this remake or whatever we're doing here, he might be able to sell it more than Paxton did, or so. But yeah, I love Michael Biehn, and he's later in Walking Dead. So
yeah,
when did you drop off, by the way?
Yeah, if it's after season 8, I probably am not familiar with any of the new cast members. Yeah.
So I'll probably end up cutting this. You didn't watch Andrew Lincoln depart?
Yeah. He left in season 8, I think, or no, I only, okay, then in that case, I only came back to watch his last episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you watch The Ones Who Live? The one that's like,
yes, I did watch that show. Yeah.
Is that good?
I liked it. It was fine.
Okay. Because I'm kind of hesitant because, one, I don't know how much dead knowledge you have to have now that there's 20,000 spinoffs. I don't know.
No, it was fine because I'm not watching any of the other stuff. I mean, I used to be obsessed with The Walking Dead, but I love Rick and Michonne, so I was like, yeah, I was like, okay, I got to see what they do with this, but
okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, Michael Biehn. There we go. That's who is Barack. All right. This next one is what do we got here? Old Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Old Rose. This one, I think, I'm gonna probably shock some people here, but you go ahead.
All right. So obviously, once I had my young Rose, that kind of helped guide me to find who would be the older version of this actress. Because I do think that's important. I think it has to be someone who you can realistically believe was this person. So I ended up, so again, I think this actress resembles and pulls off who I chose for young Rose, who we do not know yet, but is also an actress that I just really like, and I feel like she could have a very good storytelling presence, you know what I mean? And is just very elegant, and yeah. So I ended up going with Julie Andrews.
Whoa. Okay. Wow. Mary Poppins.
Yes, but more current era.
Princess Diaries.
Yep, Princess
era?
Diaries.
Okay.
No, not Princess Diaries era. I mean like current, because
current.
Because I mean like Old Rose needs to almost be 101. So again, I texted you a photo, but
what does she look like now? I'm just even curious what she looks like now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, still beautiful. Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So there's just, once I thought of her, because I love the Princess Diaries. That's one of my favorite movies. So again, I've somewhat kind of picked people that I enjoy in other movies and things. But yeah, once I thought of her, I thought she would be a perfect older version of the actress I chose for Rose. And
I wonder if I know who your Rose is based off of this choice. I'm gonna wait until we get to Rose before you say your Rose. I'm gonna say my guess.
You're gonna say your guess when we get to Rose. Okay.
Before you reveal who your Rose is, I think. I don't know. I'm just gonna. But I have an inclination. If we're going Julie Andrews, I think. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, there's something about, again, Julie Andrews can, like, I feel like Old Rose is a little bit sassy. And with some of the things, even just Julie Andrews, her natural personality, she's a little bit sassy and she's cool. And I think, Rose really always sort of had that sort of spark and fire in her that she carried all the way, through to the end of her life. So, and yeah, and just that elegant way of speaking that Julie Andrews has, I really think she could tell the tale well. So
100%. I can't disagree with that.
oh, and another thing about that too is that I know that when they cast Old Rose, they went for someone who was like an old Hollywood actress, someone who had, some sort of prestige or, career from back then. So I also wanted to go with someone who, has been around for a while, has been in some classic movies, obviously not golden age of Hollywood time, but I mean, Sound of Music, obviously, and just,
100%. Mary
these
Poppins.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Yep. Um, but I was going back and forth with like, should I pick like a real golden age of Hollywood actress from, the black and white era, but couldn't really land on anybody. And then I thought of Julie Andrews. So
I'm curious, did Betty White ever cross your mind?
actually, yes, she did for a little bit there. Yeah. But I looked into it, but I was like, nah, I can't really see it. But
Right.
she actually also could realistically play an older version of the Rose I picked, I think, kind of.
She could.
But
She could. So, okay, what I wanted to say was, well, first, I think this is going to really, like I said, it's going to be like, what, Eddie? What the hell is wrong with you? Second, but I think what this shows, were you like a really like an A+ student in school?
I was not.
You weren't?
No.
What were you, if you don't mind me asking? Were you like mid, like C's, B's?
Kind of, but I mean, I just found some of my high school report cards the other day, and I actually had a lot of D's and F's, which I was not remembering. I really struggled in math, history, science. And I also went to an arts high school though, so I was just way more focused on my music classes and everything. But
Right. Because I was gonna say, this kind of shows that I think you took this assignment, if we're gonna call this an assignment, you took this assignment way more like you really kind of dived into it. It probably helps that it's Titanic.
yes, I mean anything that could be considered remotely artistic, I think I would excel in, and this is, still related to the arts,
Right.
thinking of film. So I I tried.
You definitely, so I'm applauding you because you actually kind of approached this probably the correct way. Like you actually probably did this the right way. I'm the host of the podcast and I'm doing it the wrong way. So, but anyways, I just wanted to say that before I tell you my choice here. So
Mhm.
we know in film there's a thing that has existed since film started, and it's called makeup. So you would
Yes.
you really have to imagine who I'm going to show you here in some old makeup, because if we're just going off of what they look like here,
Mhm.
it does not work. But
Okay.
because I struggled finding somebody that Cameron has worked with, if that's the way I'm going here, that even remotely came to the same age as Gloria Stewart, and he really hasn't. So I had to take a liberty, but I had one person in mind because they've always felt like an old soul to me. Even when I watched their younger work, like in the 70s, they still have this aura of it's like the Morgan Freeman effect kind of
Mhm.
thing, where he always has felt old, even when you watch him, in like the young stuff, it's like you're
Yep.
still old. Like what's going on here? There's a
Mhm.
weird disconnect. So I thought about it and I was like, okay, I like this choice. Now throw some makeup on her, get an Academy Award nomination for best makeup, add to the Oscars list. And I'm going Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And specifically, this is her from the year, well, it's 97, Alien Resurrection.
Mhm.
She's just always had like this old quality. And I'm not trying to like sound like negative toward
Yeah.
her as a person. But even when I watched the original Alien from what 1978, 9, something like that, she still feels like old in that film. Like there's just I don't know. There's something about her that always has had this old quality to, and I love her as an actress. And you know, now what she's doing in the Avatar films, and it's just awesome work. But specifically this image, I really kind of was like, okay, throw some makeup on her. She can play old. She can definitely. I mean, she's a great actor.
Yeah.
100%. So she can do
course.
this. I don't know. Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
It did get a nomination though for best makeup, correct?
Titanic?
In the Oscars?
It must have, maybe. But maybe not. I don't know. I actually don't know each and every Oscar it was nominated for.
Because I want to say even Gloria Stewart had some
Oh,
makeup.
she had some makeup, yep,
put
and she
on
didn't
her.
like it. She didn't like it. She
Yeah.
was like, "Oh no, don't make me
Yeah.
look."
So,
Yeah.
so that is our old Rose. Moving on to, we are going to who do we got here? We got Ruth. Rose's mom.
Another one that I had that sort of had to realistically be able to be the mother of who I chose for Rose. So it is kind of awesome that I got the idea for Rose right away. That I could just kind of work off of that. So I think this is an actress who could have been around for this in the 90s, I think. And a redhead. So that was another thing. I wanted to see if we could find anybody who's just sort of
Naturally redhead.
naturally, this way. And so I ended up going with Susan Sarandon.
Oh wow, yeah, Thelma and Louise.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda.
Yep. And of course, I'll just text you the picture I settled on here.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
I love Susan Sarandon.
Yeah. So I just that's pretty much it. I mean, I just feel like she visually suits the role very well. And obviously another great actress, been around. Yeah, I think she could do it.
That's what I'm getting at is you've taken this concept and you've approached it from quite literally, let's remake the film kind of and find people that will make people who are fans of Cameron's Titanic comfortable coming to our version because hey, you know what? At least they kind of look like them, right?
That really was one of the biggest things for me was like, it needs to at least be visually similar enough that I'm not completely taken out of it and can't accept it as a version of Titanic.
Okay.
And I mean, obviously this would have to be in a crazy perfect world where we could get all these versions of the people together, but
right. Okay, so I think again you win. So let me just throw my funny one in here, and this is interesting. Like this one and Molly are the two interesting ones on this list because for Ruth, again I struggled finding somebody that could feel like they could be the mother to who I cast as Rose and to kind of make that line up in terms of age. Again, I know actors and they can, you can be 25 and play a, freshman in high school if you're young enough looking. So that's fine. But I went with, and I wanted to see if I could because I don't really go this far back. There's a film in Cameron's career called Piranha 2, The Spawning.
Yep.
And there's the main actress in there. Her name is Trisha O'Neill. So there she is from Piranha. So just that came out in I think 1981. So just age her a little bit, a few years from here, and keep the hair.
Yeah.
Keep that hairdo. Obviously tie it back. Whatever. To me, it worked. The interesting thing though, she is technically in Titanic.
Really?
She is technically in Titanic. She reunited with Cameron for Titanic. She's literally just credited as woman.
Okay.
And she's just like a woman in the background kind of thing. But they
Cool.
worked together on Piranha, and I'm sure that had something to do with her getting the
Oh yeah.
role there. So anyways, she is in Titanic, but she's in such a minuscule, like a even smaller than Alexandra Boyd role that
Because I was like, wait, what? I was like, how do I not
yeah,
recognize her?
that you would never even be able to really truly spot her. So so I think that's kind of funny. So let's give her a main role. Let's give her some, because she hasn't acted in years, unfortunately. So we gotta give her some work. So she can play Ruth.
Yeah.
All right. This one's big. The unsinkable Molly Brown.
Yep.
This is the big one.
So I went with the first actress that came to my mind with this one. And then it was kind of the only one I could think of. I was never like the biggest fan of this actress, but once I started to picture her in this role, I was like, you know what? I'm going with it. I see it. I think she can do it. I'm going with Melissa McCarthy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Bridesmaids.
And I'm going with her. And again, I think you know who she is, but I'm texting a picture anyway.
Yep.
Just she has that loud personality that I think Molly has, you know. She I think she can have that warmth as well. She obviously, I mean, I think she looks similar enough to a a Kathy Bates, Molly Brown type of vibe. Um, but yeah, because I mean, Molly has, you know, she's not a comedic character, but she is a little bit more. She's a little bit lighter, I think, than a lot of the other characters. She's a little bit of like, when you see her, you feel a little bit relieved every time she's on screen. It's like, oh, here's like a friend, you know what I mean? Here's like someone pretty chill. I think Melissa McCarthy could be that more relatable character in the mix as well, who could relate with Jack and just kind of have that more down to earth approach. And again, the loud personality I kind of went with as well. Like you think of moments, you know, hey, Aster, like just these like moments that Molly Brown has. I mean, when we first see her, just like, hey, you think you can manage, you know, holding my luggage for me and everything. And yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm going with it. It was the first one I thought of, and I couldn't really shake it the more I kept coming back to it. So.
Yeah, and Melissa is obviously very known for her comedic roles, but I think she can kind of balance that. Those are your men back there. You know, like the kind of seriousness that we need from the role. So,
I mean, I think my mom watched her in something that was a little bit more serious recently. I can't remember what it would have been, but she was like, I really liked her in there. Like she was really good at that part. And I was like, oh, okay. So
yeah,
I kind of thought about that too. My cats are deciding to be
come
all
out.
over me right now.
Come out.
Oh,
I put
gosh.
we have a little I don't know what you would call it, like when you travel you can take your thing, so that's where our cat is, because otherwise he'd be doing the exact same thing right now.
And I have two, and they're both right here right now. So because my windows are right next to me, so it's prime time TV for them right now, I guess. So they're kind of going crazy. But
I was gonna say, I think I hear like faint noises of like a window cracked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Brittany, please don't hate me for this. Please don't hate me for this. When I did the Aliens fan cast, I did this as well. And it
Okay.
seemed to go over pretty okay with my guest there. So hopefully you can forgive this one. If you can't, I'll try to
I'm
quickly
like, you're making me already think of forgiveness. I'm like, what is going on?
I'll try to come up with someone on the spot here. But this one is, I think, honestly, you know, out of all the real people that Cameron cast, I think he got it spot the heck on
Yes.
with Kathy Bates. So I'm casting Kathy Bates
No.
in the role. I cannot see, and you can't either. Like I know you can't.
No.
Like I know you're just humoring me with Melissa McCarthy, but I truly can't. So for Aliens, I did the same thing with the Michael Biehn character because I can't see anyone else playing the Michael Biehn character in Aliens.
Mhm.
I truly cannot see because she is a real person. She
Yep.
looks, it's eerie.
Yeah,
Like
a lot like her.
how
Yeah.
much she looks like the real Molly Brown. So
Mhm.
this is the one cheat. If you can forgive the cheat, then okay. But if you
Yeah.
can't, if you're like Eddie, you gotta go with somebody else, then I'll try someone else. But I don't know. To me, Kathy Bates, and maybe even it would be, you'd have to kind of do some makeup, but she still looks great today. She could still definitely do it. But I mean, there she looks. That's
Yeah.
probably what she should look like.
Mhm.
So, but I had Kathy Bates. That's the one I was like, I truly don't know. I honestly don't even know why I didn't think of Melissa McCarthy, but I don't know if she was acting in the 90s.
Yeah.
I don't know when she became big. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. Kathy Bates. Hopefully, and
Yeah, no,
anyone
I
watching,
mean, obviously you can't go wrong.
you can't go wrong.
I'm
Obviously
not going to object.
Everyone else though is not Leo DiCaprio. You can't
Mhm.
So for me it's just Kathy Bates and then that's it. So
Yeah.
all right, we're at the top 3 here. Where you got the love triangle, if you will, going on here.
Mhm.
So who is it? Cal next?
Yes.
Cal.
So again, this was, I think, was one of the first 2 or 3 people that came to my mind. Um, and I went with it. And the more I sat with it, I was like, yeah, I can't really, at least off the top of my mind, and upon doing further digging to try to find someone, yeah, I kept coming back to him, and I think it's because for Cal, he needed to be someone a little bit like tall, dark, and handsome vibe a little bit, but you know, also a two-faced personality in a way of, being able to be super slimy, almost borderline psychotic, and being able to like flip on a dime, but then also needing to be charming enough to fool Ruth into thinking he's great, and enough that Rose might even consider, staying with him. Uh, and so I ended up going who he was around in the 90s. I don't know if he would have been, because Cal needed to be a little, like, at least like 10 years older than Rose. I feel like he was like in his 30s. So I don't think it would have worked if we're thinking of 90s casting, but he's still a well-known 90s actor. Um, but I'm thinking of him more a little bit, a little bit older. I went with Skeet Ulrich.
Oh, Scream.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Like
So,
how he looks in Scream, or a little older?
a little bit older than that, yeah, so
Okay.
I'll text you the picture. Um, and yeah, there's something about him where I think he could really nail the calness needed. Even in this picture, you can see he's got the little bit of the danger in his eye there of,
Right.
being able to be this sort of handsome yet kind of, dangerous, abusive guy, who obviously would not be who Rose would want to spend the rest of her life with. Um, but good looking enough and could be charming enough to have people think otherwise.
See, okay, so Skeet Ulrich or
I think
Ulrich?
it's Ulrich, I think.
Ulrich. Okay.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen him in Scream, so I
Mhm.
only can base it off of that. And I mean, clearly he's kind of a loose cannon in that movie. So
Yep.
if we're going off of that performance, I can totally see him, flipping on a dime and pulling out a gun and
Yep.
chasing, so I see that.
Exactly.
100% see that. Would we have to do what they did with Billy Zane and put the
The hairpiece, maybe,
hairpiece.
maybe. I know I was trying to find a picture of him with like similar hair or whatever, but
That still blows my mind that that's a hairpiece.
I know.
Every time I watch it, I'm like, that's real. That's real. Like that's not fake.
I mean, apparently, once you're aware of it, it's kind of obvious, and like the location of it changes a little bit throughout the movie. Like it's a little bit lower, then it's a little higher. I never bothered to pay that much attention to it, but other people could tell right away that it was a hairpiece, apparently. But yeah, it's
Um,
pretty good to me. Yeah.
it's great. Yeah, it's great. All right, Skeet. So for mine, I went with somebody that I haven't seen do too many of the kind of villainy roles that I'd like to see them do.
Mhm.
They've worked with Cameron, and they also have another Cameron connection to a sequel that Cameron didn't direct, but it's in the Cameron sphere.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, he was not acting at this time. It was, I think, 4 years later he started acting in 2000. But anyway, so I have a side by side what he looks like now and what he looked like around this time.
Okay.
I'm going Sam Worthington. Sam
Ah.
Worthington. I want to
Okay.
see him. Because we're so used to the Jake Sully and,
Mhm.
and all that stuff. The left is what he looked like around I don't know, 99.
Yep.
So I don't know, just he has the aura, and I did look up ages for these people to make
Mhm.
sure that who I have cast as Rose kind of, isn't too out of line in terms of what they would have been. So he would have been right around the perfect age. I don't know he would have fit what you said with the 10-year kind of age difference. I think it might be a little closer to what Rose's age is for my casting, but
Mhm.
either way, he's not a super old guy.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't know, just Sam Worthington. I kind of want to, because he's always seems like he's always playing the hero. I
Yeah.
want to see him.
Exactly. I was like, "Huh, interesting." Yeah.
I want to see him play a villain role. And he's in Terminator Salvation. That's the other connection. So, um, yeah, I don't know, Sam Worthington. I think he definitely has an accent, so he'd have to go through a dialect coach and
Mhm.
learn how to speak a different dialect. But
And yeah,
other than that,
yeah, because the way you said he's usually playing a hero, I was automatically thinking of like, who's good at playing villainous? Like, who could be a good villain? And when I looked up Skeet, it was like known for his villainous characters. I was like, okay, I'm
there
like,
you
I'll
go.
once again, I'm gonna go with that then
There
for
you go.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, my other choice was Arnold, and
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Arnold in 1996. Arnold in 96, man, whew, he was a stud. He was a stud though in 96.
Ah, that's funny though. You are my wife by practice, if not yet by law.
Not even God could sink this ship, but I can. Um, yeah, so there we go. Sam Worthington. All right, we're into the
The top two.
top two, the irreplaceable ones. Here we go. So, are we doing Rose Jack, or do you want to do Jack Rose?
Well, Jack is the top build on IMDb, right? But
He technically is, but
I think Rose is the star, so I think we should do Jack first.
do
Yeah.
Jack first. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So for my Jack, obviously this was like an impossible task. Um, just because obviously Leo in this role is just so iconic. Really, I mean, with both Jack and Rose, it's like, how do you do this? And I'm still a little bit iffy on my choice, not in the looks department, because I feel like, again, I went very hardcore with if I saw this person on screen, would it like, do they look enough like young Leonardo DiCaprio that I would not be upset that
Right.
I could still envision Leo in this part when I look at them. Um, so I went with someone who also was around in the 90s and would have been around, I want to say maybe like 18, 19 years old at the time. So kind of realistically maybe could have done this role. I think. So want to know if there's anything else I should say to tee it up. Um, I'm not. I'm not. So Leo brings a very, again, sort of like soft vibe to the character of Jack, like a little bit like soft around the edges. Whereas I feel like this pick is a little bit more rough around the edges for Jack. Like Jack is like a very like sentimental kind of guy to me, very like sweet natured. And I feel like this pick is a little bit more rebel-y, rough around the edges with everything I've seen him in. And upon like looking him up in other things at this time in his career as well, I'm just like, yeah, he's a little bit more like just a little bit more rough and tumble kind of than than Jack was, but at the I mean than Leo was as Jack. Um okay, Evie, stop, my cat. Oh my gosh. She's like, now's a great time to scratch mom's bed. Yeah, anyway, so yes, and I think she cannot be for real right now. She's like scaling along the edge of my bed, like
She's like, pay attention to me.
oh my gosh, sorry. But yeah, and so the more I thought about it though, I was like, you know what though, this could, I mean, Leo at the time was playing a lot of like rascally kind of characters anyway, so I mean, he was kind of suited to that, but he does just have a more like sweet vibe to him in my opinion. And the more I thought about it though, I'm like, well, I mean, Jack is supposed to be like basically homeless and, you know, is supposed to be like an adventurous sort of rascal. So I'm like, maybe someone who's a little bit more rough around the edges would be fine. It would maybe be a cool, you know, thing. But yeah, looks wise, I think it's like a dead ringer. I would not be upset at all. So I have gone with Devon Sawa,
Oh,
who
Final Destination.
Final Destination, which again, I love the Final Destination movies. But in this picture I'm gonna send you right now of how he looked in the late 90s, I think there's no denying this choice here.
Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Go wild.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah.
It almost doesn't even look like if you would have said guess who that is, I don't think I would have guessed Devon Sawa.
Yep.
I don't know who that looks like. That looks like almost like Nick Carter. Or...
Yeah, exactly. And there's another picture too from, this is a movie he was in around 96-ish, I think, that I just texted you, which again, I'm like, put some suspenders on him there, and that's Jack, I think.
See, what do we got here? Oh, 100%.
Yep.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's got like similar, he's got the hair going and everything. Yeah.
Yep. And because there's something about like when he's actually acting, the way he speaks, I'm not like the biggest fan of for some reason. Just like the way he delivers lines and like something about his mouth. I don't know. It's just a little bit, I don't know if I really see that with Jack, but everything else is just there. So I'm like, I can't. Once I locked in with that, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to, I'm gonna have to go with his approach to acting, I guess, because otherwise everything is pretty much spot on. So
I almost would have bet money that you would have gone with like McConaughey.
oh no.
No, just because he was considered.
No, because again, he's an actor that I don't know. I'm not like a huge fan of him. So every time I've heard how he was originally considered, I've always been like, no way. Can't see it. But yeah, I mean, Leo really just, that look is Jack to me. So I can't stray too far from that 90s blonde butt cut kind of look of like this youthful guy, a little bit scrawny, a little bit, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then with that in mind, I think you'll be happy with who I've gone here, because this was the one that I also felt like, okay, let's not stray too far from what like most people know he looked
Mhm.
like. If you said to the general public, can you draw like an outline or like first of all, can you draw? Second of all, can you can you draw me what you think Leo looked like in Titanic? I
Mhm.
think everyone is going to go with that hair. Like they're just going to remember like a, like you said, that hair. So
Yep.
I tried to find someone that could fit the age. I tried to find someone that could also rock that hair, and they did rock that hair as well
Okay.
in the '90s. And so I went with John Connor himself, Edward
I
Furlong.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that. Yeah, especially if you're staying within Cameron actors. Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah.
he would fit the age that
Mhm.
that Jack should be. This is literally from the year. This is also from the year, and this is from T23D Battle Across Time.
Mhm.
I mean, come on. Like
Yeah. Yeah, I
look
could see it.
at that hair.
Mhm.
He rocked that hair so much that like he was so big in Japan in the '90s, Edward
Yeah.
Furlong, like a lot of people like he has so many Japan fans, and it's because of that hair. Now, I mean, obviously now he's kind of really fallen to the wayside, unfortunately. But specifically, yeah, just when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, that's my Jack personally.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can't replace Leo, but if you have to, and at this point, because he actually, he unfortunately did go hard into drugs and everything in his life.
Mm.
But at this point, he was still actually fairly decent in his acting ability.
Oh,
He
okay.
he hadn't fallen too far to the wayside. He has American History X coming up in a few years after '96, and again the same year he works with Cameron on T23D for Universal. So
Mhm.
yeah, he has the ability, and I think it could work. All right, Rose. Here's my guess. Here's my guess. You can
If
let me
you
know.
get it, I'm kinda gonna be mad if you get
Here's
it.
my guess, and you know what? Now I'm kind of second guessing myself, but I'm going to stick to it, and I won't edit it out. Just based off of Julie Andrews, I hope she was working around this time, but again, that's really not what you're going off of. Emily Blunt?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. That was my guess.
So, again, my I actually am really in love with her in this role. The more I think about it, I'm like, I would be so fine with this actress taking over Kate Winslet's role in Titanic, which I mean, it does seem crazy to say that, but the more I thought about it, again, this was the first actress that popped into my mind that day, or the day after when I started to consider it, and I just locked into it so hard, and I was like, and I even Googled if I could find her with red hair, and I did find an image of her with red hair in some movie. I'm not sure what this is, but as soon as I saw that as well, I was like, done. I mean, again, this is someone who I think does resemble Kate a lot in her acting as well. I recently saw her in something for the first time. Um, Pretty much I think it's the first thing I've ever seen her in, and it was my first time watching this particular movie, and the whole time I was watching the movie, I was saying, "She reminds me of Kate Winslet. She reminds me of Kate Winslet," like, the whole time, and so that's why I was like, when I started thinking of it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, the woman I just watched in that movie where I thought the whole time she was giving me Kate Winslet vibes." Um, and again, I think she is a great actress. I think in the movie I saw her in, she had that sort of, again, spunky personality, that spark that Rose needs. Um, Also, just that the way she speaks is just so reminiscent of Kate as well. And I just think she would be genuinely perfect. And if there was anybody else who had to play the role of Rose, I think it would have to be her. She was around in the 90s. And again, could realistically be an option here. But I'm going to text you the image of her with red hair from whatever this was. Um, I just think it's so perfect. So I have gone with Rachel Weisz, who was Evie in The Mummy.
Okay. Okay.
And so
This is the only one that I kind of have to. Okay. Where do I know her from? I haven't seen The Mummy.
Mhm.
What else is she in?
I'm actually not sure, but I mean, I know like The Mummy is like basically
claim to fame.
her biggest like mainstream role, I
Right.
think. But I mean, look at her. I mean,
Does look like her. Yeah, she gives off a Kate Winslet vibe.
for sure.
For
And
sure.
that's like a screen cap of a GIF actually, where she's like just moving her head very dramatically. And I was like, I could totally, that looks like Kate when she's down in the bowels of the ship and leaning against the wall and out of breath. And, I was like, oh my gosh, totally. But yeah, I mean, pretty much for the reasons I just said. I mean, I couldn't get Kate Winslet out of my head the
Right.
whole time I watched her in The Mummy. So, all right, I just sent you the GIF version. I don't know if your phone can take GIFs, but if you can kind of see her slightly in action.
Yeah.
But yeah, there it is. Yeah, I was just like that is my Rose, honestly. If I had to pick a different person, yeah.
And she would have fallen into the age range for you kind of perfectly.
I mean, how I can let me just Google and see, but I mean, in The Mummy was 99.
Because Rose is supposed to be how old in the film?
17.
Okay.
Um,
She always came off older to me.
yes, no,
Personally.
exactly. And so I was like, I think regardless, let me see, age in 1996 is when they would have filmed. Whoa, she would have been that old?
How old?
She would have been 26.
But again, you can be
She
26 and
yeah. But
yeah.
again, yeah, Kate always did give off an older vibe as well, so I think it still would have been.
Because how old was Kate when she filmed?
I think she was 20. Maybe no,
Exactly.
she was 19, maybe. I think she was 19, 20.
19.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit of a liberty, but still pretty believable.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, because she was born in 1970. So, yeah.
She would have been 26, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what I'm saying. So, wait, let me just see. Because that was my only thing was like, I think, yeah, so Devon Sawa would have been 8 years younger than her. So that's the only thing that like was tripping me up when I was casting it. But I
They're
mean,
both
that's what he looked like though in 96-ish, I think, you know what I mean? So, I mean,
right.
I don't know. So, so he kind of would have been around the right age for Jack, like 18-ish or something.
Right.
But yeah. I mean,
Interesting.
Jack was like 19, 20 in the movie, but
Interesting.
yeah.
She was the only one you've said this whole time where I was like, who?
Oh gosh. I mean, if you ever get around to watching The Mummy, I think you'll see it, I think. But yeah.
Because she's not in the ride, right, at Universal. I don't think she's, because I've ridden that thing so many times. I don't think she's in there. I just think it's Brendan.
Really?
So I'm pretty sure it's just
because
him.
that's the other thing too, right? Is that Brendan Fraser is, typically, I mean, he's technically the star of that movie, but she was the star of the movie to me. I was like, she owned the screen, every single scene she was in, and I was like, I think she could totally anchor, no pun intended, of a ship, but anchor Titanic, if need be, with just her charisma and spark and, the way, again, I think she resembles Kate and has that same sort of aura as her. So yeah, and when I looked her up with red hair, there was a movie she was in a little bit more recently, and I literally thought it was a picture of Kate Winslet on set when I saw the picture, and then I was like, okay, yeah, then I'm going with her. But yeah.
Awesome. All right, so here we go, and then we'll wind it down here. But for this one, did my research because I was double checking. I was because you know, the Rose character, you have to be, if you're gonna follow beat for beat kind of thing, you know what I mean? Then you have to make sure you cast an appropriate age here. So this one, because of who I cast as Jack, there would have to be a script rewrite with the drawing scene because you can't do that. So, but if we rewrite it so that that's not what goes down, then it works. And she is in True Lies. I don't know if you've ever seen True Lies. She plays Arnold and Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter in the film. And it is Eliza Dushku.
Oh, okay.
She is the one in the black.
Yeah, I know her from Buffy.
Right. Yep. So she would actually be the age that Rose is supposed to be. She'd be 17, but that's a little too, like, that's cutting it a little too close for me. Rewrite the script, you know, kind of fix the drawing scene. And I think it works. I think, you know, she doesn't really have to, for me, she didn't have to, I don't know. I kind of focused more on Jack just because he is the poster boy, so to speak, right, of the thing. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, you kind of get that going. But I felt a little more comfortable with, I didn't need to go for an exact duplicate of Kate Winslet, but of course dye her hair if you need to. And yeah, I don't know, just that one was also tricky to find someone that Cameron worked with that could fit that, you know. Because I was like, Linda Hamilton, then that doesn't work. That's kind of weird. So like, so yeah, she
could be part 2 of the movie Rose, maybe.
yeah. So I was like, who? I think there's someone in True Lies, and then I came across Eliza. So yeah, that's who I'm casting as Rose. But I think it is safe to say, and I'm curious, anyone watching, listening, let me know. I think it's safe to say you won this. Your picks are way better because you actually did the deep digging and tried to assemble a cast that, you know, fit in line with what the film actually is. So yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fun.
And upon looking it up, so Devon Sawa would have been 18 in 96.
Okay.
So legal age, so that's good. So I mean, 18-year-old actor for Jack and 26-year-old for Rose, but she, you know, looked young enough and has a youthful, like, she has a youthful but also old soul vibe to her. I feel like Rachel Weisz. So
right.
I think that could work.
It could. But we don't have to worry about any of this because
exactly
the movie is as it is, and it's going to stay that way until they do eventually announce a remake, and then we can boycott it. So just out of curiosity, though, you wouldn't be curious what the remake was? Like, you wouldn't go to the theater if theaters are still a thing?
I mean, maybe, or I would wait to see it on streaming or something.
So you don't directly support it, kind of thing?
Exactly. But I will, just so you can see everybody together, I did put them all together on a little collage. So I just texted that your way.
Get out of here. Did you like Photoshop their heads on?
No. Just put them all together.
Oh, okay.
Collageable. just to like see everybody.
Oh, okay, cool.
Together. And
nice.
I think it works. I gotta say, I am quite proud.
Yeah, I mean, come on, you definitely, if that's what we're going for, remake quality kind of thing, then yeah, you definitely take the cake here.
I think, I know it's a little out of focus, but
focus, you stinking camera. Oh well.
But yeah, I think I did as best I could there, really. Like, especially as such a huge fan of the movie. Like, I feel kind of good about this. I'm just like, yeah, if I had to choose other people, I mean, I feel like this is a pretty good crop of people.
And that's also kind of my approach with these fan casts, is because I could just easily reach out to somebody who's a casual Cameron fan who kind of likes Titanic. But like, to me, it's fun reaching out to you saying, I want you to try your dangest to put other people in these roles that you just absolutely cannot see anyone else playing. I think that makes it more interesting versus, hey,
Yeah.
can you cast Titanic? Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it. We're gonna get the heck out of here. You got to edit. I got to do another podcast. So everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And like I always say, go watch a Cameron film.